Fairly long while ago, I was developing a social media app project, which I wanted to launch, and it would be similar to the social media apps you see today, and it would get users, and it would be very successful, and that was the idea. And I wanted to publish it, and it was February when I was developing it. And so I was developing it, and then I wanted to complete it by next month, right? Okay, March comes around, and I don't complete it. It's April already. Okay, I'm going to complete it by April. Don't complete it. I'm going to post it by or like complete it, launch it by the next summer, or like the summer that comes up, and then I'm going to launch it. Didn't happen. And so it takes a very long time. All of a sudden, it's dragging on and dragging on and dragging on without much clear progress as well. So it became a very stale program that wasn't being, tested, that wasn't active and alive in a way. And I was focusing on like front end and all of that and just taking a very long time trying to polish something that I eventually didn't even launch. I just abandoned it and moved on to the next idea. And so this is a very common trap, especially if you are new to software development and you've tried to like learn it yourself and try to develop it on the side. So let me walk you through what this problem is. Firstly, and most importantly, there's no clear planning that happens. This is especially for new developers. So what happens is that you operate off of dreams. And this is what happened to me, at least. And you might find that this happens to you as well. You operate off of dreams, and so it's just like an idea, a hope, so to speak, that you hope this is the way that the future unfolds. And so, but what you need is actually a plan. And what a plan is a set of steps with deadlines to achieve a goal. A goal is simply a dream with a deadline. And so I didn't have any of that, and you may be able to relate, is that I would just have an idea, a dream, and I would just continue developing, and I could just continue developing till the end of time, right? Because there's no set deadline. At least I try to set one, but I don't actually like have any steps, have any plan to be able to actually launch it by that time. And when that deadline comes, I'm like, you know what? I'm not ready. Let me do it later. And so that's how that happens. You have to have like a concrete set of steps. Okay, I'll develop front end here, back end here. That's what I was supposed to do at least. Is that I should have set myself up for success by understanding how to build it up from the ground up instead of just pushing it off and just like developing, just open up the code files and whatever comes to the eye is what you focus on, right? Oh my God, this button all of a sudden doesn't work. I have to fix it. Oh my God, this button's design is not good. I have to go to CSS and fix it, and so on. You need a set of concrete steps. And so that's at least what I should have done, is where I could have actually done this probably within a month, maybe two. 1 to 2 months it would have taken to launch it. Why? Because if I have a set of steps where I just say, okay, here's when I'll really focus on the back end, test, everything like that. I won't care about the UI at all. And then I will introduce the UI into it in like the coming weeks. So like for the first 3 weeks, I will focus on backend. Then the next 2 weeks, I will focus on front end. And then maybe the next a few like 3 weeks, I'll just try to test it and ensure that everything works well polished, and then that's it. And that could be achieved in 1 to 2 months. And maybe you can relate to this situation as well, where you will operate off of dreams only rather than creating a plan, which is what is better, which is what I learned to do at least, you know. And keep in mind that I'm not in any way trying to say that I've solved that I have like a solution to your problem. So when I say you need clear planning, that's at least what I have learned. I learned that I need clear planning. Okay. The next problem, though, that I had is that I had very little research. So I dove in head first, dived or dove, I'm not sure how it's said, dive in head first into an idea that you don't even know if it had merit. And so in my situation, what the problem was, is that for a social media app, you need a recommendation algorithm. At least that's how modern social media apps work. And that is related to AI and machine learning. And for a recommendation algorithm, which is typically what's called proprietary technology, so like private technology hidden away from the public eye, it's not visible. You need a, and so you need a research team for it, and you need expertise and a massive infrastructure to actually accomplish such a thing. And then promotion. How would I actually get people onto this platform, right? What was my hope that would result in this happening? Because I had like this subtle belief that I would actually, as soon as I launch it, like the next few weeks, I'm just going to rack up some magical way new users. It's this kind of ego thing that, yeah, I'm the best in the world because, like, developers can have that. They think that they're the next, I don't know, Tony Stark. But yeah. And so that's the problem. How am I going to actually get users to like try it out, use it, say it's nice, and like grow from there? So that's another problem that I didn't consider. And what else? A lot of things like when am I going to publish it or like launch date? Those are all the questions that were there, especially with the social media app. There's a lot of security concerns, like, ensuring that people's accounts are stable. I don't know, you don't have any hacks, you don't have any vulnerabilities in your website, all these things that I didn't consider. Uh, that, like, of course, you don't actually have to consider because you're probably small. It probably won't matter that much in the beginning, but regardless, you have to at least remember that those things exist as potential things to face, so to speak. And so, yeah, I didn't consider these things and I dove headfirst into it, just like, yeah, I want to do it. It sounds cool, amazing. Uh, and so, what I learned to do now is to actually look into what you're trying to do and check whether it's feasible, whether it's going to grow, like has merit, time, right? How much time is it going to take? I don't know, sustainable, etc. All these things that I didn't look into. Just like by looking at like some internet forums or, you know, into all these other things, like I could like search what do people think about like social media networks and what do they like, Be Real. They exactly what they did is like they looked into why people what's the common problem in social media networks today, and it's like the fakeness of it and all this stuff. And so they made their own platform, and that's what they did. They actually researched it, and they had a team, and they capitalized on that simple, like, maybe 1 week, 2 week research would have at least set me up for more success. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily going to make me uh, have, like, I don't know, the next Facebook, but it will actually be way more successful. There is an upside to the situation, and what is that this is also very beneficial, especially if you're a new developer. You may interpret it, at least I did, as like a waste of time. So I thought, damn, like I spent so much time. So I wanted to switch to a new idea, and I was fairly more just enthusiastic about switching to the new idea, but I also like subtly thought that my time could have been spent in a different way rather than developing this app that never got launched. But this is actually the good part, is that it serves as a learning experience for many things. There's many things that you can draw out from when you develop an app. And so, like, I could uh, come to the conclusion that I need to research more. I could come to the conclusion that I need to plan better and all these things that I could do. But mainly what it does, and this is why I'm saying it's for new developers, best for new developers, is that it expands your skill set. You are spending so much time developing an app, and that sounds like the trap, the problem, the issue that you clicked on the video for. But it's actually like a training ground. This app, whatever you've been doing, at least for me, was a training ground to develop my skill set. And so for me in particular, that developed my skills with Python and Flask. And that's pretty good for web development. I understood things about databases and other like SQL and all these things that would not have known otherwise. And a few things about machine learning as well, about like object detection, about things like that. When I was trying to think of like what would a recommendation algorithm look like. All of those things are very useful, and learning them in 6 months, at least being introduced to them, is a massive benefit. While developing something that you like and you want to see, like, that you want to continue doing, is a very cool experience. And so I think that if you have something like this, you should also recognize, oh, I'm actually learning a lot of more things. So if you remove your app, you're now up in knowledge. So that's a very big benefit. But hey, if you'd like to accelerate your software's development and actually launch a polished application, then I suggest you use Stellar AI for that. It's an AI software development assistant designed for coders that are self-taught and solo, like me and you, to be able to develop projects in a more streamlined, efficient, and effective manner where you set goals, you research, you plan, and do everything side by side with the AI until completion and even beyond so that you no longer have to like look at your work and think, damn, this was a waste. Stellar AI is actually in its early life, so if you want, you can go sign up and give feedback on if you like it, if it actually helps you or not. And you can go sign up with the link in the description. See ya.